empty glass sits beside my own. Two cold altars in a house of stone. A pair of shadows on the bedroom wall, waiting for the other one to break the fall. The bass is thumping like a twin beat heart, ticking off the miles that keep us apart. Left side, right side, the pain is the same. One half is longing, the other is blame. A romantic geometry of me and of you, divided by the center of the damage we do. Oh, it's the symmetry of sadness, a perfect line of your broken spirit and my fractured spine. Beautiful balance, a heartbroken grace. Seeing my sorrow on the ghost of your face. I walk the hallway, you walk the street. The rhythm of our perfectly sweet. The saxophone cries for the us we designed. Before the golden ratio started to unwind, I'm a mirror of the silence you left behind in the hall. The perfect architecture of a romantic fall. If I'm the question, are you the reply? Or are we just two versions of the same goodbye? The saxophone takes a soaring, desperate solo. It plays a romantic theme that repeats and flips, becoming more dizzy and frantic until it breaks into heart. Piercing will goes through 2025. Oh, it's the symmetry of sadness, a perfect line of your broken spirit and our fractured spine. A romantic reflection in a cracked open door. Two hearts beating mellow and not anymore. It's a beautiful balance, a heartbroken grace. Seeing my sorrow on the ghost of your face. Matched in the middle, equal in the blue. It's actually broken, perfectly true. The fever's gone, the smoke has cleared the room. No more jagged edges, no more heavy gloom. I've stopped looking for the why and the how. The only thing that's left is the empty now. The bass is a scalpel thin and bright. cutting through the shadows of our final night. There's no more screaming, there's no more wine, just a straight white border at the end of the line. A romantic ending, sterile and neat. The sound of a heart that's admitted defeat. Washed the sheets, I opened up the door. I don't find your hair on the wooden floor. The saxophone wails with a clinical grace, searching for the warmth of a vanished face. But the air is just air, and the light is just light, and the bed is a desert in the middle of the night. No more ghosts, no more lies, no more maybe in the back of my eyes. The saxophone takes a soaring solo. It starts with a pure romantic tone that stays perfectly on pitch, building in intensity. I found the box tucked deep beneath the bed, full of the Sundays and the things we never said. The ink is faded where the teardrops used to fall. Now I'm just a ghost wandering through these empty halls. I held a match until the sulfur bit my skin, to find a way to let the winter in. I'm tired of reading lines I know by heart, tracing the curves of a world that fell apart. The paper is yellow, the edges are frayed, just like the person that I was before you strayed. It's a love that I lit on fire, watch the words turn gray. Everything I felt for you is drifting far away. The I love yous are embers, the always is smoke, a heart-shaped promise that finally broke. I'm warming my hands by the bridge that I burned, from a love that I lit on fire, and a lesson I've learned. The deer is gone, consumed by the blue. The middle is a hollow space that used to be you. I remember the pen stroke, the way my hand shook. Now I can't bear to give it one last look. The ashes are dancing in the midnight air, like black-winged butterflies that lead to nowhere. From a forever burn under the night, let the orange flame be the only light. It's better to be blinded by the heat of the spark, and to keep these dead pages here in the dark. Watch the ink curl, watch the truth bend. This is the only way to make the story end.
The saxophone takes center stage, plain and emotional, soaring solo that mimics a human cry. It starts low and breathy, building into a high, desperate peak before tumbling back down into a whisper.
It's a love that I lit on fire, watch the words turn gray. Everything I felt for you is drifting far away. The I love yous are embers, the always is smoke, a heart-shaped promise that finally broke. I'm warming my hands by the bridge that I burned, from a love that I lit on fire, and a lesson I've learned. Now the floor is covered in a velvet dust, in the ashes of a love that turned to rust. The flame is out, the room is cold, there's nothing left for me to hold, just a love that I lit on fire, just a love letter in a fire. The champagne is bitter, the roses are black. We're on a one-way track, and there's no turning back. I didn't see the venom in the honey of your kiss. I didn't know forever could feel just like this. You were the lightning and I was the tree, a beautiful disaster, a slow surgery. We danced in the smoke while the curtains were catching two jagged pieces that were never quite matching. They say that love heals, they say that it saves, but we're just two lovers out digging our graves. It's a fever that's rising, a debt that's unpaid, the sweetest mistake that we ever have made. Oh, the love was lethal, a beautiful crime, a slow-acting poison. It's a matter of time. It was romantic and ruinous, holy and wild, a monster that looked like a blue-eyed child. I'm gasping for now, I'm drowning in you, the most gorgeous death that I ever went through. Put it on a stone, let the epitaph tell. The love was lethal, and we loved it to hell. The memories linger, a bittersweet ache, a path we both walked for goodness sake. We built a castle that crumbled to dust, trading our faith for misplaced trust. Every sweet whisper, a promise untrue, a beautiful lie that I saw in you. I traced the outline of where we once stood, in the echoes of moments missed, because nothing feels emptier than what used to be ours, lost in the wreckage of crumbling stars. A beautiful kind. Put it on the stone. We left it more. The love was lethal. Temperature is dropping, just like your warm gaze, lost in a cold and narrow cut. Winter haze, you bloom in the sunshine, you thrive in the July heat. When the days get shorter, you develop cold feet. Our love was a summer flame that tried to last the year, but the autumn came too quickly, bringing every single fear. You promised me forever when the world was bright and green, but you changed your heart like the changing of the scene. It's seasonal affective love, a beautiful sad disease. You vanish with the sunlight, you leave me in the freeze. The bass drum hits the rhythm of a lonely winter night, while the saxophone is pleading for a little bit of light. It's romantic in the springtime, so heartbreaking in the fall. The kind of love you answer when you shouldn't call it all. You're only here for summer, then you disappear from view. Just seasonal affective love from me to you. I recall the cherry blossom, the promises you made. Now I'm standing where the last of the dead leaves have decayed. The warmth you offered me was conditional, I see now. Just a temporary comfort, a quickly broken vow. The saxophone is wailing, a bluesy core refrain for a love that only functions when there isn't any rain. I'm stuck here in the January of my soul tonight, waiting for a thought that might not come to light. It's seasonal affective love, a beautiful sad disease. You vanish with the sunlight, you leave me in the freeze. The bass drum hits the rhythm of a lonely winter night, while the saxophone is bleeding for a little bit of light. It's romantic in the springtime, so heartbreaking in the fall. The kind of love you answer when you shouldn't call it all. You're only here for summer, then you disappear from view. Just seasonal affective love from me to you. I keep the porch light on, hoping for the spring to start, a hope against the winter of my freezing heart. They say the light will heal me, they say the sun will rise, but they never saw the winter that lives within your eyes. A 6-month window of perfect, happy grace, then a 6-month sentence of an empty, lonely place. It's seasonal affective love. just the cold now. I remember the way you first took my hand, like water slipping through a desert of sand. The tighter I held, the faster you blew. A romantic ghost I could never pursue. I was building a tent, you were looking for the door, loving a heart that was already halfway off the floor. The suitcase was packed in the way that you breathed, in the 2026 winter and the promises we wreathed. I was the anchor, but you were the tide with a heartbroken distance you didn't have to hide. Even The clock on the wall is a liar, counting minutes that don't exist. I'm still standing in that doorway, in the shadow of the mouth I kissed. The air in here is heavy, frozen since you closed the door. I'm saving the sand you left behind, 'cause they don't make that ghost anymore. My chest is a cage, the ribs are pulling tight. I'm terrified to let go of the last of the life I accept. I lose the taste of your name, and I'm not ready for the silence to claim the flame. It's a love like a hell breath, tied in a knot at the back of my throat, sinking like a stone, but trying to float. I'm turning blue in the memory of you, afraid to breathe out, afraid to be through. Just a love like a hell breath, waiting for a wind that never blew. I see your keys on the counter. I haven't moved them an inch to the left. To touch them is to admit the theft of every always we ever swore. Now I'm a scavenger of once more, walking softly so I don't disturb the dust of a kingdom built on a broken trust. Oxygen is lonely, the world is moving on. But how do I start a second when the first of you is gone? It's a love like a hell breath, tied in a knot at the back of my throat, sinking like a stone, but trying to float. I'm turning blue in the memory of you, afraid to breathe out, afraid to breathe through. Just a love like a hell breath, waiting for a wind that never blew. I didn't see the man you were standing in the rain. I saw the king you could become once you shed the pain. I drew a map of 2026 in a hat that you could reach. I practiced all the gospel that I wanted you to preach. I was a romantic architect, building on a ghost, loving the version of you that didn't exist the most. I ignored the cracks, I ignored the hollow sound. I was too busy looking up to see you on the ground. I fell for the almost, I tried to fix the wiring, I tried to paint the walls, but you were happy living in the ruin of your halls. The bass is a heavy thrum, a weight upon my chest, a reminder that I failed my own romantic test. I was waiting for a signal that was never gonna light, holding on to a future that was never in my sight. I'm a fool for the could be, I'm a slave to the mind. I was blinded by a fire that I had to ignite. But I can't love a statue, I can't kiss a dream. And now the silence is louder than any scream. You're just you, and that wasn't enough. I fell in love with your potential, not with you. I was chasing a color that you never even knew. The drums keep the tempo of a heart that's out of breath, while the saxophone is mourning a romantic death. It's a heartbroken mirror, a beautiful mistake. I left the masterpiece that you weren't ready to make. Yeah, I fell in love with your potential. Goodbye to the hero I invented in my head. The man in the mirror is a stranger instead. Didn't see the man you were standing in the rain. I saw the king you could become once you shared the pain. I drew a map of 2026 on the heights that you could reach. I practiced all the gospel that I wanted you to preach. I was a romantic architect, building on a ghost, loving the version you didn't exist the most. I ignore the cracks, I ignore the hollow sound. I was too busy looking up to see you on the ground. I fell for the almost, I fell for the someday, while the reality of us was wasting all away. I fell in love with your potential, not with you. I was chasing a color that you never even knew. The drums keep the tempo of a heart that's out of breath, while the saxophone is mourning a romantic death. It's a heartbroken mirror, a beautiful mistake. I love the masterpiece that you were ready to make. Yeah, I fell in love with your potential. I tried to fix the wiring, I tried to paint the walls, but you were happy living in the ruin of your halls. The bass is a heavy thrum, a weight upon my chest, a reminder that I failed my own romantic test. I was waiting for a signal that was never gonna light, holding on to a future that was never in my sight. Goodbye to the hero A soft and simple word, the prettiest vibration that I had ever heard. Just a shifting in the skyline, a tremor in the ground. I didn't see the mountain coming, crashing, crashing down. You were a peak of white and wonder, standing in the sun. I didn't know the melting had already begun. I built my house in the valley, right beneath your feet, thinking love was something steady, thinking love was something sweet. And then it hit me like a landslide, like a landslide. There was nowhere left to run, there was nowhere left to hide. It was romantic in the tumble, it was beautiful to fall, until I realized that the gravity would take it all. Now I'm buried in the rubble of the yes we used to be. I'm gasping for the air of love that's killing me. Yeah, love like a landslide, bringing down the world on me. I'm digging through the memories, trying to find the door, but the weight of all your silence is 1,000 tons or more. I see the shattered pictures and the splinters of the frame. Every rock that's resting on me has a whisper of your name. And you were a natural disaster in the rough red Sunday dress, a catastrophic masterpiece of cold and loneliness. dark side, light side, it's all the same to me. I'm anchored to your shadow in the silent sea. The physics of my heart are written in the stars. I'm circling the ruins and the hidden scars. I see your oceans rise, I feel your surface shake, but I can never turn away for both our sakes. I'm frozen in the orbit of the way you move, trapped inside the rhythm of a dying groove. And I'm in a tidal lock to your moon. I only see the side of you that leaves too soon. One face forever turning towards your cold white glow. The other lost in witness that you'll never know. I'm pulled by the ghost of a love that's out of range, fixed in a circle that will never change. Yeah, I'm a tidal lock, staring at the space where you used to be. The distance is a distance I can't ever close. I'm held by the gravity of what I chose. You're drifting further out into the great unknown, while I'm the satellite that's fated to be alone. I keep the same expression, I keep the same pose, a fossil in the vacuum that nobody knows. I watch you reflect the sun I'll never touch. I guess I love the pull of you a little too much. If I could spin, I look away, I find a dawn, I find a day, but I'm weighted down by the memory of your touch, an invisible chain that costs too much. I'm a prisoner of every path we made, dancing in the light, dying in the shade. 'Cause I'm in a tidal lock to your moon. I only see the side of you that leaves too soon. One face forever turning towards your cold white glow. The other lost in witness that you'll never know. I'm pulled by the ghost of a love that's out of range, fixed in a circle that will never change. Yeah, I'm a tidal lock, staring at the space where you used to be. Just a rock in the sky, down to your gravity. Same face, same tears for a billion years. I'm watching you, I'm always watching you. We built our little world on a coastal stretch of sand, assuming that the ocean would respect the land. The sunset painted colors only we could see, a perfect, beautiful, romantic destiny. But every single evening, what I moved a bit more near, the subtle was far below, a vast dark distance where I used to go. The current took my anchor, the rope just snapped in two, and there's nothing left here now but the ghost of me and you. I can't stop the physics, the ocean's grand design, a heartbreaking reality that I must call gone out to sea, nothing left of you and me, just the silence now. Bought a ticket to the halls of what could be, a quiet gallery of you and me. The lighting's dim, the marble floors are cold, just stories left half written, never told. I'm walking past the sketches of a June under a hollow paper mache moon, and I'm lost in the museum of our potential, where every ghost of us feels consequential. Is heavy like the heart of my chest. The sax is screaming what we never confessed. We're a masterpiece that nobody can see. Locked in the museum of our potential, haunting me. There's a frame on the wall for the house we didn't buy, a shadow of a kitchen where the morning light would die. I reached for your hand in a statue made of glass, but my fingers only touch the years the almost got worse than the end? Why is the maybe a wound that won't mend? I'm the curator of a life that never grew, sweeping the dust off the memory of you. I'm lost in the museum of our potential, where every ghost of us feels consequential. The bass is heavy like the heart in my chest. The sax is screaming what we never confessed. We're a masterpiece that nobody can see. Locked in the museum of our potential, haunting me. Admission is free, but the price is my soul. Just a half-empty room where I used to be home. Just us in the museum of what could have been. We've used up every word, from A down to Y, from the always we whisper to the almost goodbye. I'm leafing through chapters of things we once knew, searching for a known that still sounds like you. The bass hums low, heavy Z in the dark. The end of the alphabet, the death of a spark. Saw your ghost's face. We're at the margin, the ink's running dry, under a heavy, unpunctuated sky. The saxophone sighs like a book being closed, exposing the secrets that we never proposed. Oh, it's the final definition of a heart in descent, the sum of the letters of a life that we spent. It's romantic and tragic, the weight of the ink, standing on the edge, too exhausted to blink. We're the very last entry, the end of the stage. Syntax to fix us, no words for the rain. As I go to zero, the circle is through. There isn't a syllable left to sing at the end with a trembling hand, a language that only the lonely can understand. The coffee's cold, the chair is turned to the empty space where the lessons burn. I'm tracing shadows on the kitchen floor, waiting for the click of a locking door. But the silence is a heavy weight, and the clock is marking the hours late. Oh, it's the ghost of a touch, the sting of the red, the thousand things we never said. A cinematic without the light, just a slow dissolve into the night. My heart's a rhythm out of time, searching for a reason or a rhyme. For the ghost of us, the ghost of bread, and the goodbye we never said. Sunlight hits the glass and the tiny suits glow. A frozen second from a life we used to know. Your arm is round my shoulder, my head is on your chest. We look like a secret that the world finally blessed. The camera didn't see the cracks beneath our feet, or the way the air between us was turning into sleep.
It's a rollicking lie, captured in the ink. A bridge that was holding right before it started to sink. The flash blinded us both to the ending of the play. A beautiful forever that was ending that very day.
This is the last photograph where we're both smiling. A digital ghost of a love that was dying. The drums keep the heartbeat of a heart about to break, while the saxophone mourns every promise we didn't make. It's a heartbroken image of a dream we couldn't keep. I'm wide awake now, but in this frame I'm still asleep. Yeah, we're both smiling in the last photograph. I'm looking at my eyes, they haven't seen the storm. I'm looking at your hands, they still feel so warm. The bass is a heavy thrum, a weight upon my floor, a reminder of the shadow that was waiting by the door. How can two people look so perfect and so right? An hour before the fire went out in the night. The saxophone takes a desperate, soaring solo, hitting high, piercing notes that mimic a human cry before dropping into a low, gravelly groan. The drums build a crashing, chaotic energy on the centers. This is the last photograph where we're both smiling. A digital ghost of a love that was dying. The drums keep the heartbeat of a heart about to break, while the saxophone mourns every promise we didn't make. It's a heartbroken image of a dream we couldn't keep. I'm wide awake now, but in this frame I'm still asleep. Frame in silver, bury it in blue. The last time I saw us, before I lost you. The canvas is bare in the corner of the room, waiting for the color of impending doom. You're standing by the door with your keys in your hand, while the hourglass is leaking its very last sand. Don't leave me in white, don't leave me in gray, don't give me the light of a brand new day. If you're leaving this house, The colors are wet, the frame is so cold. Watch me fade into the blue. The air in the hallway is frozen and thin. I'm wearing the silence like a second skin. You stood by the window, the light turned to gold, but your voice was a winter, bitter and cold. There were no sirens, there was no grand plea, just the sound of the person you used to be. I'm haunted by syllables, sharp as a knife. The final 4 seconds of my former life. I didn't know then that the air would go dead, that I was breathing in the last thing you said. I would have bottled the vibration and tone to keep me some company. Now I'm alone. Oh, I'm living in the echo, I'm trapped in the frame of the very last time that you said my name. It didn't sound like worship, it didn't sound like home. It sounded like a traveler who's ready to but the line is quiet. Say it once more. Saxophone lets out a final break of the keys. Silence.
You're kissing me tonight. It tastes like summer rain, but I can already feel the coming autumn pain. Your eyes are bright and shine, a perfect starry sky, but I see the shadow forming of the inevitable goodbye. We're dancing in the kitchen to a song we both adore, knowing in my soul that we can't do this anymore. The sweetness of the moment is a temporary high, the sugar coating on the pill that makes us say goodbye. It's a taste of tomorrow's tears, right here on my lips. A perfect, beautiful love caught in its eclipse. The bass drum hits the rhythm of a heart that knows the end. A heartbroken romantic story where we can't pretend. Every touch a painful start, just the taste of tomorrow's tears falling on my heart. I'm holding you so tightly, trying to stop the clock, but time is a river, it doesn't stop for a single rock. You whisper that you love me, so sincere and so deep, but the promises we're making are the ones we cannot keep. The future is a forecast of a storm we cannot weather. We're just two shooting stars that briefly flew together. It's a taste of tomorrow's tears, right here on my lips. A perfect, beautiful love caught in its eclipse. The bass drum hits the rhythm of a heart that knows the end. A heartbroken, romantic story where we can't pretend. Every touch a painful start, just the taste of tomorrow's tears falling on my heart. I can see the ending from the very start, a beautiful beginning that will break my heart. such a painful start. Just the taste of tomorrow's tears falling on my heart. Tomorrow's tears, they're salty now on my lips somehow. The taste of goodbye. The wine is still wet on the glass, but the conversation has turned to stone. We're sitting 3 inches apart, yet I've never felt more alone. You're looking at the window pane, watching the headlights crawl by, and I'm memorizing the shape of your face before it becomes alive. Snare drum joins with slow, crisp rim shots. The candle flickers, fighting for its light between the I love you and the coming night. The air is gone thin, the shadows are long. This is the part where the right goes wrong. It's the quiet before the heartbreak, the silence before the glass breaks thin. I'm standing on the edge of the used to be, waiting for the never again to begin. It's the calm before the thunder, the bridge before the snap. Just a few more seconds of loving you before the world falls through the gap. You're wearing that sweater I bought, the one that matches your eyes. It's a beautiful day for a funeral. It's a beautiful night for goodbyes. I wanna reach out and touch your hand, but I'm scared it'll be cold as the floor. So I'm counting the beats of the silence until you walk out the door. Points pick up intensity, a rolling build on the tones. The saxophone plays a frantic, spiraling solo that mimics a panic attack, eventually collapsing back into a low, mournful moan. Tell me a lie, tell me you'll stay. I take a beautiful fever over this gray. The clock is screaming, the walls are closing in. How do I say goodbye to where I've always been? It's the quiet before the heartbreak, the silence before the glass breaks thin. I'm standing on the edge of the used to be, waiting for the never again to begin. It's the calm before the thunder, the bridge before the snap. Just a few more seconds of loving you before the world falls through the gap. The hearth is cold, the wood is turned to gray, but I'm still standing here, trying to find the day when the air didn't taste like
like the end of the world. Back when our flags were still brightly unfurled. You were the spark and I was the dry autumn leaf. A momentary magic, a beautiful thing. We lit up the dark, we made the stars look dim, dancing on the edge of the crater's rim. We didn't care about the smoke in our lungs. We were speaking in fire-rich tongues. But every great light casts a shadow as deep, and we've got a mountain of promises to keep. Oh, we were a beautiful fire, a glorious blaze, burning through the nights and the neon lit haze. But the higher the heat, the faster the end. Now I'm just a stranger and you're just a friend. We're a handful of ash in a cold porcelain jar, a wrapped-up reminder of how broken we are. It was worth the destruction, the sting and the choir. God, we were a beautiful fire. I look at the scars on the palm of my hand, a map of a kingdom that turned into sand. I'd do it again, I'd strike the same match just to feel the way that our spirits would latch. But the oxygen's gone and the room has turned black, and there isn't a way to bring the light back. Don't tell me it's better this way. In the dark, don't tell me that peace is better than spark. I'd rather be burning, I'd rather be torn than living this quiet where the silence is born. Oh, we were a beautiful fire, a glorious blaze, burning through the nights and the neon lit haze. But the higher the heat, the faster the end. Now I'm just a stranger and you're just a friend. We're a handful of ash in a cold porcelain jar, a romantic reminder of how broken we are. It was worth the destruction, the sting and the quiet. God, we were a beautiful fire. Still feeling the heat,